Good evening, everyone. This is Keith Johnson with your Business Buzz for Tuesday, December 17th, 2024. And we have a lot to talk about today. Excuse me. First, the Dow Jones closed down 267 points today. It's historic in the fact that it's the ninth consecutive losing day for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And the good thing, well, not good thing, but it goes back to 1978. So it's the longest losing streak since a 9-day streak in 1978. I was in junior high at that time, so that's a long time ago. But I'll say silver lining is that it appears, the other markets are doing okay. They're posting slight gains. So it looks like what's happening is the money, investors are pulling out of the traditional Dow Jones average, the 30 stocks that compose the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and putting it into S&P 500, NASDAQ, some of the more technological stocks. So it's not a broad market decline. It's really just limited at this point to the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And the thing is, I think we're seeing people with President Trump or President-elect Trump getting into office, the initial enthusiasm in the markets seems to have worn off. I think a lot of the companies in the broader market are producers, retailers, all of that. As you know, President-elect Trump is going to put on tariffs for Canada and Mexico of 25%, China for 100%, and all of that. So it's going to, for people that rely on technology overseas or parts or whatever, or inventory goods, that's having an effect on the broader market. So we're looking at tying into that. All eyes are going to be on the Fed tomorrow. They are having their meeting. They have a Fed meeting about every 6 weeks or so, and they review the economic conditions from all over the country. There are 12 Fed banks in the United States, so they'll go through, and the chairs of all the banks will go through and discuss the economic conditions related to them. And as a result, then they vote, along with Fed Chair Jerome Powell, they will decide on the Fed rate. Fed funds rate. Now, the way it works is the Fed funds rates are the overnight rates that banks charge each other. Prime rate, which is the interest rate that banks charge their best customers. This would be your blue chip companies. They would charge them 3% over Fed funds rate. Now, that's also the interest rate that the IRS charges clients, taxpayers on their tax balances. So they go with the Fed funds rate plus 3% or the prime rate. Of course, any kind of interest rate cut does help businesses. Looks like right now the market's priced in about a 95% chance that there will be a rate cut of a quarter point. Pretty much everybody's expecting it, but there is a small but growing school of thought saying that even a quarter of a point gain or cut will seriously ramp up inflation. Personally, I think if this were a month ago before, if this were in October before the election, I think it would have more credence. But at this point, there's no election to affect. I think the cut will go on anyway. The individuals need it, and there's no risk. Our businesses need it, and the risk of inflation it's not going to affect people's decision, voters' decision on the presidential election. So I think it'll be a quarter point cut. I would be mildly surprised if there was no cut. I'd be shocked if it was a half point cut. But we will see. They usually come out about 2 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon. Kind of along the same lines, we also see that President-elect Trump is using is reaching out for foreign companies to invest in America. And they've been talking with the Masayoshi Son of Japan, who is the CEO of Sofi Bank. And he is talking with him, and they've agreed that they will invest $100 billion into the American economy in order to generate 100,000 new jobs. Now, I did do the math on it. I think it's a little expensive just to create the jobs. That's $1 million per job. That's not very cost effective, but what hopefully will also occur is there'll be investments in other things, maybe such as tech improvements, technology companies getting capital. It may not be necessarily translate into a job right away, but it's something that we all need. So I like the fact that he is doing it. And also he is proposing, the president-elect is proposing a corporate tax cut of reduction, currently 21%, a reduction down to 15% for companies that invest at least $1 billion in American manufacturing or American operations. So, we'll see how that comes out. Like I said, a little early on as far as seeing is it a good deal because it is not cost effective for jobs, but there could be other effects of that as well. And finally, excuse me. Finally, I apologize. There's the person who assassinated the Peter Thompson of United Healthcare, Luigi Mangione, has been formally indicted on murder charges. So we'll be finding out how that goes. Looks like Christmas will be a pretty good travel holiday. I think early estimates are around 110 million people will go at least 50 miles from their home. That's not going to be me. Because of my shoulder surgery, I'm not flying to Washington State, but I will be here, and don't feel bad for me. I do have various family and friends here. So I would say let's keep an eye on the Fed funds rate at 2 o'clock tomorrow. I will be, and then I'll report on that. So in there being nothing else, this is Keith Johnson with the Business Buzz, and I wish you a happy, good evening and a good tomorrow.